Hello everybody, welcome to the Tyven Show. Today we're going to do a breakdown. We're going to do a breakdown of the PlayStation 4 joystick. No, I don't want to talk to my PlayStation. What we're going to do is we're going to take one apart and we're going to find out what's going on. Hello. So, let's get started. Thank you for watching, and thanks to Hike the Gamer, Captain Roundhouse, me, Hammer, Jibby Jabba, Mickey Mike, them guys for playing GTA 5 today. Awesome day of gameplay. But what I really wanted to make the video about is the PlayStation 4 joystick really better than the PlayStation 3 joystick. I got some stuff here. Actually, I got a lot of stuff. You can see parts, more parts, cases and other things. I keep all my old joysticks in case something breaks, one piece wears out, whatnot have you. Side by side, yeah, 4 is bigger, it's wider, longer. But you're going to be surprised at just how similar that they are from the PlayStation 3. There's 3 things wrong with the PlayStation 3 joystick or PlayStation 4 joystick. So Sony, PlayStation, if you're watching, or you guys, anybody watching this video, they can get this video in front of them. Let them know. We as gamers now know. I'll go ahead and take this one apart and I'll show you guys how to do it. I went ahead and started. There's 4 screws across the back. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you get it, you push them and you pick these up and it pops out. Make sure that you're careful that you push your R1 or your R2 and your L2 apart to get it, and be careful there is stuff together connecting and holding them. Take that one out and that disconnects the top. A lot of guys think, oh, you can take these apart and you can just unplug these. You can't do that. This is your plug for your charging. Your LED lights are right here, which project up through. The LED lights are not enough to drain your battery. It's your headsets that's draining your batteries and making them die quicker and faster. We'll get back to that. But anyhow, so far, I'm still impressed with the PlayStation 4 joystick. This is the inner workings, the inner sides of them. As you can see, this is a PlayStation 3 battery. We're going to take this one out and do a little comparison. They're almost the same. Almost. But not by much. If you read the backs, this is a maximum charge of 10 amps. I think it's 10, not 1. That looks like 1.0 amp. Charging volts is 4.25. The PlayStation 3 is a 0.7 amp and 0.25 volts also. They're pretty similar. The ohms and everything is the same. Sorry guys, I'll turn that off there. That way you guys don't hear that. I apologize. I just turned PlayStation 4 off. But they're pretty close. Now the PlayStation 3 is wider as far as your thickness. Still the same. pretty much. As you can see, the rumblers on them, same motor is on the 4, DualShock 4, PlayStation 4. They did make a little bit of a difference. They used to mass produce these. As you can see, there's 4 chunks that they press on there, and then the other side's got 1. Well, on the new one, it's actually 1 piece for your rumbler on the metal, and it's just 1 like on the other one, but the motors are the same. Okay, so that's one thing's the same. The battery pack, let's see, the battery holder, whatever, this just pops in there. Come on, that comes out. Now, and you'll see in these boards, try to get a little focus in, you'll see the numbers listed right here going across. On the PlayStation 3, they actually made about 8 different varieties of these, and you'll see the numbers right here. This is an 07. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. The bottom parts, like if you go to customs, console customs, they'll show you in these. There's a little variance in this part right here, but that's about it. Another thing, it's the same in regards to the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, or your toggle buttons. They're the same. They're the exact same ones that's in here, and we'll show you and get this out here. Oh, gotta take one more screw out. There's one screw that holds the center board. We'll take that out real quick. And this all picks up in one assembly, just like the other one. Oh, wait a minute, my fault. We gotta pull this little wire right here out. As you can see, there's a blue tab right there. Make sure you pull on the blue tab, not the white, to get that out. Disconnect that, and your whole assembly will pop out. And we'll get back to this piece here in a minute. We'll take the caps off. If you can see, they're identical. The buttons between the two for your thumbs, they're the same. And I'll explain to you a lot of problems that a lot of guys are having is the R1, L1 button sticking. I'll explain that in a minute too. The other thing that a lot of guys are having problems with, oh, sorry about that, you get a little scratch in the mic. I had to fix that. A lot of guys are having the problems with the mics, or with the buttons on here sticking. If you look at them, they're flat. They're made to be pushed straight in, straight out. Well, I'm sorry for the focusing, guys. If when you're holding them, guys are pushing on the sides of the button and trying to fire, they stick. That's problem 1, Sony, PlayStation. That's why they wanted you guys to use the R2, L2s for your primary fire buttons. But these are made wrong. They should have been set more. I'll bring this one up, because when you're holding it, everybody is pushing on half button, and they're sticking, and you should be pulling up in the front. That's why they put them right here, and they designed it so when you're holding it, you're supposed to be holding it like that so your fingers are overlapped. That way you're comfortable in doing whatever and doing that. But anyhow, the R1 buttons are sticking, and that's because it's the way that it's designed. It's not made to be pushed on the side, and you can't, it's not sticking on the case, it's sticking inside right there on these little louvers pieces right here that the button sets in. So if you're pushing on the side and it sticks, that's one problem. As you can see, the boards are pretty intricate. They're definitely look and made a little bit better. I've got 5 of these joysticks. I've taken them all apart, and I don't know if there's any different variants in them is going to be coming in the future. These here from the PlayStation 3, there's about 8 different ones, and they're all made in different parts of the world. If you look on them, like I said, there's the serial numbers right there. You can go and look them up. There is a difference just in the board. It's wider, longer, you know, blah blah blah, whatever. I was talking to Cherry Wine. She doesn't like the flat joysticks, toggles. You cannot take one out of the PlayStation 3. It'll fit right there on it, right there. But because of the center right here, this board will not allow you to push because of the cone. You can cut the cone, but then you're going to get dirt and all kind of stuff down inside your joystick. Because if you see on these ones, see how it's concave, and right up front right here, it fits and allows you to go further than what this does. So you can't take the other 3s and put them in. They'll fit. And the 3 is actually taller and wider. So you can't do it with that. Oh, we'll take this one off and we will put our 3 back on. This is one sticking. The other problem we have with the joystick number 2 is on the insides of these pieces right here. Right here. They dig in. Let me use the other one. And they do the same thing with the PlayStation 3. They dig in right here on these pieces right here, and you'll leave little ruts, and you'll see the little white foam around them. That was a bad thing, that these would wear out real fast. And on the insides of the toggles, they would put grooves and dig grooves into these, and this is where you get all your little white chunk stuff from. It's from the toggles on them. But anyhow, I'll get to the third problem that PlayStation has with their joysticks in just a minute. But I wanted to show you more similarities of the compatibility. They did make the motherboards a little bit different. This one is a 3, PlayStation 3 DualShock 4. It's the same theory with the board. They overlaid it over so your buttons hit right here and hang. They did pretty much the same thing on these ones. This just got 2 wires and it's connected by that piece right there. Sits right across that board right there, and that's where your contact's made. It's a piece of foam underneath there, and you can stick them right back together. They actually made it so this one goes together and apart a lot easier. That right there is your speaker that you see in your joystick, the square piece right there. a lot of guys with the YouTube say, oh, these joysticks are better. These joysticks feel, the buttons are different. They're made them better. They made them more responsive. BS. It ain't the same. They're identical. They are the same. Your thumb toggle buttons are the same on this board, electrical board, as they are on the PlayStation 3. This is the top of the PlayStation 4. As you can see, there's your touchpad. You know what? I'll just take that out real quick. It just popped right out. I would not paint this. I would not put nothing on there. I haven't been able to find any information to see if this is actually a heat sensitive pad, a type of whatever, some type of plastic that feels vibration or whatever. If you paint it or whatever, you might lose the functionality of this board, this touchpad board. As you can see, right there's your button, the piece of plastic, and then on your electrical board you'll see the little white switch right here. That is your button that you need to touch to click it on. Alright, let me see if I can fix this up a little bit. Sorry about the scratchy noise, guys. But anyhow, and this is your reset grommet button that goes on your board. Now what we have here is your buttons, right and left and all that stuff. This is a PlayStation 3. This is a PlayStation 3. The pads and the bottoms that fit on the motherboards, they've got the little metal pieces on them. Excuse me. This is a PlayStation 3 DualShock 4. And these 4 buttons right here are the buttons. As you can see, triangle, circle, X, diamond. Or triangle, X, circle, square. Sorry. But they are exactly the same. These grommets are the exact same. Yeah, one's oval, one's round. It doesn't make a difference. They're the same. PlayStation 4 versus 3, but same size. Excuse me. Exact same. You can take out the centerpiece right here. Look at that. Other than concaving the center just a little bit. Let's see if you can see on the center on this one's flat. This one's flat all the way across. It doesn't have the concave. Versus this one, you'll see the center of the button. They made it so your finger fits in there so you can roll. That is an improvement. I give them that. But they are still one and the same. Alright. So we'll put that one back. Now as far as the buttons, look, you put it in anywhere. It'll fit in any direction. The buttons are the same. Here's a triangle, PlayStation 3. They are identical. If you look at the little nipples on the ends of them, they all match. They're the same height, same width, same diameter, different color. Identical. And all 4 buttons are the same. So we'll just flop that back in there. Spin around until it fits in the groove, just like you did on the 3s. So the buttons are the same. The connector pads are the same. The 4-way toggle is the same. I'm going to go ahead and put this back together here. Make sure everything's good. But is there anything else that's the same? Well, kind of, sort of, yes and no. All your thumb and button movement is the exact same. They made it wider, they made it taller, they made it thicker, they made the grips handles longer. It fits better in your hand as far as the case is concerned. They made some improvements on how that the board sets together in the frame. The frame is better than in the 3 because you had this that sat on this, and these went over here on these, and then this board had to go in and sit on top of that, and then had to be set in the case. It's 12 pieces. So they made it easier in putting it together like this. We're going to go ahead and put this back together. But when you put this back in there, you make sure that you put your wire on top. That way when your pad's in, your wire is not over or tucked underneath. It's up. The other problem that we had, besides the joystick premature wearing out against the case on the inside, your R1 button is sticking. We need to fix that. The only other problem that I really have with the joystick on these, I'll put that back in. See, they fall together. It's easy. It's plain. It's simple. You make sure that little lip is flipped over. You stick that in there. Come on, babe. Don't force anything. If it doesn't go, be gentle. And then once you get that pushed in, you flip that little thing over. Whoop, I guess that would have been better. And you flip that little lip up right there. There's a little plastic lip right there that you flip. You'll see it moving. Flip it up. Push your wire in by the blue tab. Don't bend the white one. And then you flip that little white piece back down towards it, and that locks that piece in place so it doesn't come in and out. So the construction of it is actually pretty good. I give them credit. And make sure that everything fits so you can go like that and it doesn't loose or fall apart. We'll go ahead and put a screw in here real quick. Screwdriver at. This will hold us back. The other problem that I had with the joystick is these buttons right here, your share and your options button. When you're playing and you're going like that, see, my button's already stuck. Just by touching it, it's already stuck. I don't know if you can see it or not, but anyhow, when you're playing and you want to share or option, these buttons right here need to be taller. At least bump it out to here. Because when you're playing, you don't want to look down. I keep touching this. Bring that button up so it's prominent like these. Bring this one up. That way you're doing it. But other than that, They made it wider. They made it more round. They made it longer. Still a good joystick, guys. You can't beat it. They took perfection and made it better. But other than that, you fix this right here, Sony or PlayStation, whoever's listening or watching. You fix it so these don't stick, because I would rather have these as fire buttons than these. I want these ones. See, that one's already sticking again. And don't think you can take it apart and take a piece of sandpaper and sand that out. That's not what's causing it to stick. It's actually the case that houses the button. You can put a little bit of electrical grease or axle grease or whatever you stick in there, and do it. And fix the buttons. Make the buttons taller. Because if you see, it's not very prominent versus, you know, these ones. Make that one taller. But overall, Sony, I give you credit. You made an excellent product. It's really good. I haven't had any problems with my hands cramping after a couple hours of playtime. It's actually pretty good. We'll just pop that back in place right there. And don't forget, there's a little rubber piece. Goes in that slot right there. That is what resets your PlayStation. That way when you need to plug it in or something's wrong, or you want to switch this one over to another PlayStation, you push that and it resets it. But overall, PlayStation, I give you credit. You definitely did a good job on everything. Let me get that back in. There's little grooves. All you do is just look at the little grooves, line them up. Oh yeah, hello. There we go. Goes in there just like that. You push it down, and it locks in place. See? Make sure that button's in. Make sure your buttons work. Make sure everything's pushed down. Don't forget to screw on the board. One other thing is, when you put it back together, make sure you hook everything back up the way that you took it apart. It's blew out. We'll go right here, and we'll stick it right in that little hole right there. Whoops. Remember, try not to bend that little wire. They are very delicate. And just so you know, I just lined the little blue up and then pushed down on the blue part of it. You can put some force on that. If it bends it, it ain't no big deal. It's that part right there you don't want to mess up. And then when you put it together, you'll see that the wires are pre-folded. Oop, I just turned my PlayStation 4 on. I'm sorry, guys. Line your joysticks up, your center pieces. You tuck that in right there. Do not force it together. Just squeeze it. It'll go together. Just, oops, sorry about that, guys. Just squeeze it together. Make sure all your lines are lined back up. Everything's back. Go like that. Check it on your PlayStation. Make sure your stuff's working. Make sure your power button's working. PlayStation off. Make sure your buttons are working. Make sure that's working. Make sure everything feels good. And then put your last 4 screws in, which I have right here. I hope this video really helped you out, and I hope really that PlayStation and Sony, or the people who make or design the PlayStation, watches this, I'd like to see them fix the only 3 problems that I have seen with the joystick. It's my hands don't cramp. It's really comfortable even after hours of play. Butterfingers tonight. I can't help it. But anyhow, I hope this video helps you guys out. Having a bad day. Oh, I just turned my PlayStation 4 back on by pushing the buttons. I'd really like to see you guys up there fix the 3 problems with the joysticks. If you could fix that, I'm telling you, you would have the best ultimate joystick. Even for using parts that you guys took off the shelf to make this. You made the outer box, you redesigned the motherboard, you engineered the buttons a little bit differently. The biggest part of it was, oops, lost my screw, is the overall size, width, thickness, and diameter of the PlayStation 4 joystick. I really like it. You've added the new features of the touchpad. I'm waiting to see what that really brings in the future of gaming. Just making sure all my stuff's tight. And then go back, make sure all your buttons are working. PlayStation off. Make sure everything's working when you do it and put it back. So, I hope that helps you guys out in knowing the truth about the PlayStation 4. Is it better? Yes. Bigger, it molds, it's longer, it fits in your hands better, even for hours of use. It's wider, so you're not like this, you're actually with your shoulders out. You can sit and comfortably, kick butt. And it is built and designed from there to there, from there to there, just like your fingers. You grab, and you're already right there. A lot of guys are still doing this, which they need to fix. Fix this so this doesn't dig in and out and premature wear this part out. Put like a little silver ring around there so it's plastic on metal instead of plastic on plastic. That's actually a very sharp edge in there. It's actually digging in. Raise the button up just a little bit so it's more prominent. That when you're playing, I can just go like that instead of hitting the pad. I can hit the button. I can feel it. Fix your R1 button. 3 things. Fix them, please. I'm asking you. You took the best. You made it the best of the best. Now make it the best of the best of the best. For all you guys watching this that want to play Xbox, don't be fooled. They do the exact same thing. They redesigned the board. They changed a little bit of the case. The buttons and the switches are all the same. They spend millions of dollars buying this stuff in bulk. It probably took $150,000 to $300,000 to design this, but it cost them $15 to make. They have to sell somebody and make the money back, and then the rest of it's all profit. But they've got the best joystick that was ever made for gaming. Thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. Alright guys. Well, thanks for watching the Tyven Show. Please, if you know anybody that deals with the joysticks at Sony or PlayStation, send them my video. This will only help out everybody to make the best joystick better. And also, thanks to everybody that subscribed. I just played with Hike the Gamer on GTA 5 today. And we played some Killzone Shadowfall on PlayStation 4. And thanks to Captain Roundhouse and Mayhem Deluxe and the Captain Meat Show. Great day of gaming. And it's all possible because of PlayStation. So anyhow, I'm going to whip out my trusty mouse right here. And I shall see you guys in the next video. Thank you. And we shall catch you later.